All right, Shalom. Start first by giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone. And greetings, salutations, and blessings. Much love unto the hopeful elect, those that are giving their life, freedom, and diligence to earn their salvation, to be free from the world, to be separated from the flesh. All right, and that's pretty much what this lesson is going to talk about, is the flesh versus the spirit. Okay, and I have this image up here. It says God's word, moral law. It says flesh, spirit, and the master review of it. It says how the word affects the flesh nature, resents the discipline of holiness. Okay. Your body don't want to do the things that the spirit wanted to do. It wants to do what it wants to do. When you need to do one or two more things to get enough accomplished, your body wants to shut down and go to sleep. Okay? You want to refrain from certain things, your body wants to do those certain things. All right? And that's pretty much how this goes. I'm going to keep reading down on the flesh side. It said, constraint of sinful flesh. Yeah, in the sinful flesh, your body wants to sin. It said, acts independent of the Most High. Yeah, your flesh feels like it's separate. It's a separate thing. It says rebels against authority. These are all the workings of the flesh. And matter of fact, the authority is the Bible that tells you things like, like having sex on the Sabbath. Man, come on, it shouldn't take a rocket scientist to let you know you shouldn't be doing that, on the high holy day. I mean, it's not that difficult an understanding. All right, if you begin to gotta go deep and make excuse to do something, you're not in the spirit, man. When like what? No, but it's saying that if the Bible has to explain that you should be having sex on the Sabbath, you're going off, man. All right. It shouldn't have to. A lot of this stuff is keeping you from doing stuff. The discipline is a boundary, so you know what is acceptable and what isn't. And the word is pretty straightforward. Okay. Because is it your spirit that want to have sex on the Sabbath? No, it's your flesh that want to have sex on the Sabbath. Okay. So then, if you start catching yourself, well, when is the Sabbath? I'm not sure, how far away from the Most High are you really becoming? So that's what this is about, man. This walk in this faith is all about, man. Trying to stay as close as you possibly can in the spirit, man. Stay in the spirit, okay? Because your flesh is going to lead you astray every time. All right, I'm going to read a few more. It says, world brings death and bondage, okay? The authority, being a rebel, which is witchcraft, being a rebel, rebellious, is of the flesh. Okay, trying to act like you're separate from the Most High, it's in the flesh. Committing this sin is in the flesh. All right. And you resent authority and discipline. That's in the flesh, man. Okay, it says works of the flesh, the affinities of the world. Yep. Conformity to the world. Okay, spirit of the world, body oriented. The Epicureans, they were about pleasure, man, pleasure of the flesh. I believe that's Greek, and what that means when you look up the word for Epicurean in the Stoics, I believe the word Epicurean goes back to of the flesh, or pleasures of the flesh. Okay, it says it crucifies and seeks immediate pleasure. In this microwave world we're living in, instant gratification, click on it and you got it. No hard work to get to anything. And the generations that's coming up now, you can see them growing up with that idea that everything's just a click away, taking the library and deep research for granted. Okay, anyway, here's the spirit side, then I'm gonna get some precepts and in a positive way. It restrains you from certain things, especially because we live in this wicked world. If this world were righteous, things would just flow naturally in righteousness. But because the world is wicked, if you try to be attached to it, nobody's saying, hey, don't work on the Sabbath. Nobody's saying, I'm talking about of the world, they're not saying, hey, let me pay you an honest wage. Hey, let me, come up with all these things that the world is against, a party spirit, YOLO, and all of this going on with in the spirit of the world, the works of the flesh. That's appealing to your flesh, but appealing to your spirit should be the righteousness of the Most High. Saying, you know what, I'm going to fall back and chill tonight. I'm going to do my best to not have to exert any physical energy, but spend that time spiritually with the Most High. Okay? That's what this is about. All right, it says, rejoices in the discipline of holiness. Right? And the brothers that I've met, nobody's perfect around here, but we try to rejoice in the things that we are able to conquer in righteousness. Okay? When we're able to keep another law. Oh, I figured out how I can keep this ability. When we rehearse these righteous acts. Boom. Rejoice in that. Okay? Our elders and apostles, they passed those things down that we can work on, that we can separate and be able to accomplish. And we want to be separate. We want to be closer to the Most High. Okay? It said acts independent upon the Most High. Acts dependent upon the Most High. Yeah, and we understand Adawan Ratazah, Lord's will, that we make it, that we can accomplish this next thing, that things go the way that we believe they should, and we're looking for the righteous way for it to go. It says relies on the order of government. Now, does that mean the United States of American government? No. Does that mean the beast of society at large? No. Being conformed to the world? No. But it is a hierarchy of righteousness that we follow. So when other men are known to be in the spirit, improving to be in the spirit, guess what? Those are the ones that are set above you. That 1 Peter 5, you follow those men. You obey what they ask you. Okay? See, the word brings life and freedom. Yep. Because this is the new life. You'd be surprised by having a dietary law, how creative you become with the foods that's within the unlawful range. I didn't eat lamb before I came into the truth. Now it's one of my favorite meats. One of my favorite proteins is lamb. But now, and I didn't eat pork a lot throughout my life. I ate it, before the truth, but I did a lot. I was pretty much not eating it by the time I came into the truth. But you'd be surprised how many other seasonings you can add to lamb. How many different styles of ways you can cook lamb versus don't taste the same with chicken or beef. Things that like cinnamon. I didn't really cook with cinnamon with with flesh like that. I didn't really do that. Came into the truth, you start adding like cinnamon worked good with chicken. It worked good with lamb. You start like, woo. It becomes your palate expands in another way. It learns more. Anyway, it says fruit of the spirit. Okay, it says affinities of the word. Yep. Transformation from that old man into the new man. All right, the spirit of the Most High, spirit oriented. You can rejoice when you see the spirit of the Most High and righteousness dwelling in you and in men around you, and acts of people around you. Okay, it says spirit oriented, resurrects. Oh yeah, it doesn't kill you, but it brings you back to life. In Matthew the 28 tells you this is the refreshing. Okay. What refresh what is giving you new life, new purpose, new reason. Okay, to live the right way. You watch that movie Fight Club. It talks about that, how you had no reason to do nothing in life. You didn't want to obey those things. But now, Fight Club, that spiritual fight, right? Fight Club is now the reason why you trim your nails, the reason why you get a haircut, you know, on and down the line. And this truth what keeps you in line, why you trim your hair a certain way, why you don't edge up your beard or whatever, you know, do a lineup, you know, present yourself as a righteous man, why you may iron your clothes, why you wash your clothes, why you shower, why you just everything, man. Not that those things are vital things, but you present yourself, was my point, to present yourself in higher regard. And washing is one of the customs of our people. We are a cleanly people. All right. Get into that in a little bit. It says, seeks ultimate good. And those always looking for righteousness, man. We seek righteousness, man. Looking for the righteous situation. You know, not digging to make a wicked situation into a righteous situation, but evading those wicked situations and searching for a righteous situation. Okay. Okay. Let me go into, matter of fact, I had a precept I had on here. Let me grab that right quick. Yeah. I'm going to show you something. Because, like this, I kind of use it. That's the flesh, man. That whole ideology is of the flesh, man. You can't restrain yourself one day, one more day. Even if we took off, say if it's a double Sabbath, so that's 2 days, right? 2 days in 1 week. And then camp is on another, so that's 3 days. You still get the majority of the other days, you know, to be with your woman. Okay, you still get the other day. Still get more than enough. Okay, then you add up the rest of the month. It's not going to be a double Sabbath, but you know, situations where you can't have sex. Man, plus, the more we in that sex spirit, the more in the world we are. The more in the flesh. The more occasion to the flesh you become. Okay, and I speak from experience. You know, not making an excuse. I cut me first. Okay, but that's the thing. Doing your best to rehearse those righteous acts to the best of your ability, but just making it free for everybody to say you can go on and do that. You know how many demons a woman will put on a man, you know, for being subject to that. Okay, anyway, you got to be out that flesh, man, best we can. Best we can. You're not gonna win every day, but you got to win as much as you can and limit the ways that you lose. Okay, things you can't control is what you lose. If you got to restrain yourself, you restrain yourself. Anyway, this precept says, might as well not read this. The lesson didn't change. All right, yeah. So this is Numbers 19 and 20. Like I said, using that example, right? It says, but the man that shall be unclean and shall not purify himself, that soul shall be cut off from among the congregation. I mean, you put him out the camp, okay? He shouldn't be in there at that moment. You know, if you figure out that, I mean, what they were talking about leprosy and other things, okay? But this still applies. Why would you not apply? I would rather apply the strictness of the spirit of the law to the best of my ability. Not trying to be over righteous, but be more on the strict side than the lenient lax side. Okay, that's just the way I approach it. It says, that soul shall be cut off. It said, but because he had defiled the sanctuary of the Lord, the water of separation have not been sprinkled upon him. He is unclean. So both of the words are in there. Okay, defiled and unclean, which is the same word. Tama'ah, okay? Matter of fact, looking to the, I'll click on the defiled. It's going to say the same thing, tama'ah, same thing. 29:30 and 29:30. Same word for defiled and unclean. Say it again down here too, look, unclean. All right, so let's go to defiled. There we go. right there. And when we go into it, it's the same word, just like it says in the, I mean the same thing. Primitive root, be foul, especially in a ceremonial or moral sense, defile, pollute, unclean, be unclean. Okay, the same word, unclean. Biblical usage to become unclean, be unclean, because you're unclean. You go into Leviticus, the 15th chapter, you're now unclean until you wash yourself and the sun go down on that day in the evening. When the evening comes, when you'll be clean again. Okay. All right. It says become impure. So to become unclean, it says sexually, religiously, or ceremonially. So yeah, trying to be clean in all those ways. Another way you defiled yourself may not have been sexually, but if you don't, if you touch a dead body, you sit on the spot where somebody else is. So some of it we can't control, but having sex with your woman, you can't control that, man. You can control that. You know, you can't make an excuse for that. You can control that. Having sex with your woman, you can't control who sat in, you know. Can't control that, but you can control the other part. And that's where this whole thing through faith, through rehearsing the righteous acts comes from. Okay? Because you would keep the ones that you can control through faith. The ones you can't, you ask for forgiveness and that grace, and not being justified by the law, but being justified by faith. And your works, what are the works? Trying to perform the law to the best of your ability. So the things you can't control is what you control. All right? And defiled, okay? It says unclean, defiled. Idolatry is another defiled way. Defiled, unclean. I mean, it's synonymous with each other. They go hand in hand. All right, become unclean, to be polluted. Same thing it says for defiled. Okay, it's the same word. Tama'ah. Okay. Oh, that's the same. All right, so we connected that already. Now, we already read what makes you that way. What makes you that way is being of the flesh, making decisions according to your flesh. Okay, when you read the scriptures, that show you what the spirit is, and then you'll as you grow in this thing, you'll learn how to apply those. Okay, like I'm saying, the things I can control, I try my best to control. Okay, and the things I can't, I acknowledge for those things. All right, this is a battle. All right. A matter of fact, before I read this, now I'll wait on that. So let's go to Romans. Gotta go to Romans the 7th chapter. Yeah, gotta go to this book for this, right? It says Romans 7:14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. Yeah, because the problem was the bodies. We were created. These bodies were created subject to sin. All right, sold under sin. It says, for that which I do, I allow not. For what I would do, that do I not. But what I hate, that I do. You know, and that's what it is. And that's your spirit wanting to do it. And the Most High sees that. But our flesh won't allow us to do it. Okay? We just fight to do the best we can. But when you make an excuse to say, okay, you can do this on the Sabbath. Yeah, man, try. If you mean, like Apostle Tahar gave a great example. If you gotta eat on the Shabbat, the only way you can eat is to cook, then cook, man. But acknowledge it and really be shy. You know, but if you have other means to eat, man, some brothers be like, you know what, I'm gonna eat salad. Do things that don't take physical and fire and all of that. You know, physical exertion as well as fire to cook on the Sabbath. You know, brothers may make a sandwich instead, you know, for that one day. But it's up to you. Brothers may use a microwave. It's up to you. It's all about how you have that connection. But are you doing your best according to what the word says to live in the spirit versus letting your flesh overcome you? Okay? Anyway, it says verse 17, it says, no, 16. If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. Yep. It says, because you're doing the opposite of the law. That the measuring stick is the law, the reed. Okay, it says, now then it is no more that I do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. Okay, I want to do the right thing, I just can't. You know, there's no way I can get around this. Okay, we gotta acknowledge those things as well. Anyway, it says, for now I know in me, that is in my flesh, that in my flesh dwelleth no good thing is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not. The will to want to do the right thing, but the way to do it, you may not be able to find that. In a kingdom like this, man, sometimes it's gonna be hard to get to it. Okay, it's gonna be hard to do the righteous thing. It says, for the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. You know, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be subject to that, but you are. You become that way, and it's a tough walk. That's why it's based on faith, because we cannot be perfect without Yahweh making us perfect. Okay, through Yahweh Shai. All right, it says, then if I do that which I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. You repeated it, right? I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. And that's the battle that we fight, going back and forth. Spirit wants to do it, and overall we can overcome to such a degree, but we can't win. Okay, but the will is the first thing versus the will of saying, I should be able to pop my woman seven days a week or whatever. Now we're gonna get into the debate about when is the Sabbath. Come on, man. Come on. If your argument can't be answered straightforward, which don't pop your woman on the Sabbath is the answer, just chill, man. Wait a day. You can't wait till tomorrow night. That's enough. That should be enough. And then what you gonna do at that time anyway? You're not gonna appease the flesh doing that. You're gonna appease the spirit by spending that time with Yahweh Shem Yahshua in the Word, in the Spirit, brothers or something, praying, meditating. Okay, it's funny. I got this issue with me. Every time I don't want to clean up, wash a car, I don't want to do none of that physical stuff, that I need to do for myself until the Sabbath come around. When the Sabbath come around, now I'm eager. On the engine, like everything I want to do. It's like the Sabbath is when I just want to do it. I'm just more eager to do it. I got a closet and a storage little space to clear out, But I figured it out, because I'm not going nowhere. I'm not really gonna be outside the house on the Shabbat. So then I'm around the house like, dang, since I'm here, I can knock this out. But nope, I gotta chill today. Okay, because I know how much the spirit of the flesh will keep me fatigued on the days that I am at home. That's been a lot of them days. So we just got to fight that, man. And how? Stand in the Word, stand eager to do good. All right. Anyway, now I'm going to Romans the 8th chapter, which says, verse 1, it says, here is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who walk not after the flesh. You walk not in the flesh, but you walk after the Spirit. You're closer to Yahweh Shai. Okay, Yahweh. All right. For the law of the Spirit of life in Yahweh Shai Mashiach have made me free from the law of sin and death. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh. Okay, the law was a fleshly. We applied the law through the flesh, even though it was spiritual. We applied it through the flesh, and we lose when we apply it simply that way. Okay, because now your conscience and the degree of your conscience becomes into play. Like, oh well, I don't, it ain't hard work. I want to go shoot around and do a light, play a little basketball. I don't have to work. It's only shooting around. It's only, hey man, sit your ass down somewhere. All right. Designated to the Lord. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Let one of your gifts that He gave you, that in righteousness, if you like necklaces, put necklaces together, man. If you can paint, paint. Do something. Those are some of my hobbies. Do those things rather than be out, you know, you know. Let your body do those other things. All right. Quit making these excuses for the flesh to prevail. The Lord is going to condemn you because, matter of fact, He's going to say it. I'm going to keep reading. It says, sin for what the law could not do in the flesh that was weak through the flesh, and that it was weak through the flesh, God, the Most High, sending His own Son, Yahushua, in the likeness of sinful flesh, for sin condemned since sin in the flesh. Sin condemns sin in the flesh. Okay, He was sent down into sinful flesh, likeness of sinful flesh, because He had no sin in His body. We do. Okay, He came down and proved it could be done, and that the law could be kept perfectly by people in the flesh, by man in the flesh. Okay, it can be done. He proved it could be done. Do you need a special spirit on you? Yes. So we're trying to get as close as we can to that spirit through the Holy Spirit. The more we in the spirit, the less our flesh is decreased. The more our flesh is decreased. Anyway, it says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. Okay? For to be carnally minded, that's of the flesh, is death. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Yeah, it's that way of life, like it says right here. Okay? The word brings life and freedom, man. You're free from sin. You're free from that mind state of worry, or from that lack of mind state, of carefulness. Okay? It says, because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So then, they that are of the flesh cannot please the Most High. So, into the world, man. Now, do you automatically get on the level? Nah, when I first came in, I had a new girlfriend when I first came in, and I had trouble keeping up when the Sabbath was exactly, when it began exactly. And I made a mistake or two, all right? But eventually, as I grew in the spirit, hey, and know what? It's probably part of the thing that cut her off. And why we not together today? Simply because she wanted to be more fleshly then, of her flesh. And as I grew in the spirit, hey, I cut away those fleshly things, and hey, and those people that are around you that are connected to you, they'll move away. If they're connected in the spirit, they'll be in the spirit. If they're connected to the flesh, and you cutting flesh off, they're gonna get cut off as well. All right. It says, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. So if be that the spirit of the Most High dwell in you, now if any man have not the spirit of Yahushua Mashiach, he is none of his. And we want to be heirs with him. We want to be we got to be ruled by the flesh. And that's where I was going with it. And that's the condition of the battle. Let me get to it. Second Ezra chapter, see that quick. Let me see, it's not right there. Yep. Let me see. So that must be the Let's be right here then. Bear with me one moment. Yes, right here. Second Ezra chapter 7, verse 56. It says, wow. It says, for while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle. And that's what which man that, okay? Because if you're in the spirit and do the things to be as righteous toward the Most High and get out of as much punishment, or if it's even more than that, you don't have anything to pay for at all. If we can get it right, well, that's going to be in the kingdom when we get it right. But in this, we got to try to live up to that as best we can, man. All right, live up to in the spirit as best we can. That's the condition, man. You know, so you don't get punished in the next life. So you don't get punished you get punished in this one if you don't make it. Because this is the one where he's exempting us and blotting out our sins through faith and works. We'll be able to escape the perils. All right? And that's what this is all about. Escaping that, man, because you don't want to see that fire, man. Of Yahweh Shemiel Shai, that fire and brimstone. You know, that World War III missiles. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that concentrated, you know, from the laser beam for the chariots, man. You don't want to see that. You want to feel that. So, you know, do your best to walk in the spirit, man. Okay? If you notice that your action is going to lead you somewhere further down the way into the world, or you're making excuses, trying to make the scriptures say what you want it to say, you're in the flesh, man. It's okay if you know, when the new moon is on this day of the week, and when I had to work, so I'm already defiled because I was at work today. You're making excuses, man. I might as well you're making excuses, man. Okay? Try to clean up as much as you can clean up, man. And the stuff that you can't is the stuff that Yahweh Shai will clean up for you. How will blot out, man. Okay? That he will still make us white, make those robes white, those white garments, man, make us pure, even though we still got stains on it, man. This is our last chance at getting this, and this the one that. All right, so anyway, Lord willing, this was edifying, man. So I'll give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, man. Keep fighting. The good fight of the flesh, okay? The good fight of faith. All right? To the next one, I say Shalom.